So welcome, nice to meet you all. I got Chris, I've got Simon, and I've got Simon and Russell. Sorry, apologies for that. How are you guys? Just arrived, got a beer in hand, so obviously everyone's happy.
Yeah, we've only been here a few hours, but it's nice to be back after so long away, isn't it?
Yeah, it's surreal, like nothing changed, but it's been a while. It's strange just to step into this environment again.
Yeah, I agree. It's very. I assume every single interview you've done, people just be like, "It's weird, it's existential, blah blah." But it really is, isn't it? It's like everyone's been a face on a Zoom screen for a year, and now you're here with your friends again. So it's nice. It feels like coming home a little bit, doesn't it? And a nice kind of like warm feeling of finally,
And for you guys, obviously, this is a bit like coming home because you're quite regular playing here, aren't you?
I think this is our 4th or 5th time playing this festival.
I think it's the 5th.
Is it the 5th time playing?
5th.
So yeah.
Also my first gig with Winterfylleth.
Indeed, I was going to come on to that in a minute. Because are you double dutying? Are you playing tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm in next concert.
Yeah. So how are you feeling?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
It's a nice weekend, right? To come back to live music with certainly probably 2 of the biggest shows I ever played, if not the biggest.
Sure. And how's it been for you guys in terms of a lineup change during a period of time where you may not have been able to get together in the way you would have normally?
I mean, look, lineup changes are always a pain in the arse. Like, you've got a great new player who's a friend before coming into the band, kind of joining, but they haven't got that kind of 10, 15 years of kind of knowing the stuff, having been part of all of it. So it's a really kind of like big thing, and I think we've put the legwork in, and Russ has really worked hard, and we've done lots of rehearsals and kind of tried to kind of keep it together, and just basically make sure that we're match fit. And obviously we had a new album out as well during that time, so we've even kind of been going back to the drawing board a little bit ourselves and kind of like learning those new songs together for the first time after all the lockdowns and stuff. So
I think if anything there might have been some small benefit to this happening during a pandemic, because obviously Winterfylleth is an active band, lots of tours and gigs, but in the absence of that, I suppose knowing I was coming into the band, I had about 10 months to get to grips with the material, which is very beneficial. So we've had a nice little period of time where we've been just settling in the rehearsal space, and it's been cool as well because the songs that I've been playing with Winterfylleth that we're going to be playing on stage today, these guys haven't played before either. Yeah. So there's kind of a fresh start feeling. I think that's
mutual. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, definitely.
Which has been a nice way for it to begin.
It's not just Russ that's been learning material to play live. We've all been learning it together because we generally, the way we write and record music is we generally don't perform the tracks as a full band before they're recorded. So our new album came out 2 months after the pandemic started, so none of us have performed any of the songs outside of the recording studio and when we've written them. So it's totally fresh for all of us. So it's good.
Great. And the Reckoning Dawn obviously came out, as you said, a couple of months after the pandemic, which wasn't ideal in some respects, but in other respects, like a lot of bands, they've been able to have people actually listen to it and enjoy it. How did it go down?
I think from my perspective, I was really keen that we didn't delay it until later in the year, and it just kind of came out. My view at the time was, and I think I still kind of maintain it, was that people were stuck at home, and it was in those early days where people weren't maybe as kind of laissez-faire about it as they are now. And it was like you couldn't leave your house, you could go for an hour of exercise and all that sort of stuff, And actually, it was great. I think, personally, I was buying a lot of records then, looking for stuff to kind of keep my interest and new stuff to listen to while I had the time. And I think our album, in some ways, kind of hit at a good time. And actually, it's definitely been our biggest album so far by a mile. Yeah. By some strange twist of fate, it charted in the UK Top 100.
Yeah. Obviously, in sort of immediate terms, the pandemic has been bad for music, right? But I think in other ways, it may have been good for it because I think people realised the strength of their appreciation for music once they couldn't get out to a show, and maybe they had a little more time at home where they could engage with records. And I think with the Reckoning Dawn, that certainly came at a time when people were very up for really getting to grips with an album.
Sure. And did all your vinyl collections expand exponentially like mine did?
Oh my goodness me. I genuinely think that I bought 150 new vinyl over that time.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't help that everyone was probably drinking a bit more than usual and locked in the house, but there's a band from Switzerland called Paysage d'Hiver, and I got drunk one night and bought their entire discography, which is over 20 LPs. And then it just all turned up about 2 weeks later, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that.
Your missus was asking questions about that.
I'm not even sure I played it all yet.
Yeah.
Something to get to.
I've done loads of double orders where I've been a bit pissed and bought one and then bought another one and then two have turned out and I go, what's the matter with them sending me two, you know? So what about today? You're in the tent, which is, from a fan's point of view, probably better to see you guys than out on the main stage. Is there a preferred place for you to play, or are you obviously you're happy to play? But
Yeah, I mean, we played last time we played Bloodstock. We played the Bonnie James Dio stage, the main stage. We were lucky and there was a nice day, so the weather was good. We had a fairly early slot, that's one of those things. That's fine. But the show was great. But we've always enjoyed playing on the Sophie stage.
Yeah.
It's a nice stage to play.
I'm completely up for black metal in the tent.
Yeah.
I think from my perspective, aesthetically, when you're on the main stage, we were on at like lunchtime or 1 o'clock or something, which is, we know it's great to play a bigger stage, play to more people who maybe have never heard your band. But black metal is an aesthetic art form, I think, in some ways. And so you kind of need the lights and the darkness a little bit, and you need people to be a bit more immersed in it. You can't just kind of some of those big bands, I don't know, like Skindred, whoever, was head, they're an interactive kind of main stage sort of party-ish band, and I think that the aesthetic of that works really well. But if you're in a black metal band and it's a bit more kind of static and there's quite intricate guitar stuff and it's quite atmospheric as well, I think you sometimes need that enclosed dark environment for it to kind of have a bit of extra meaning and translate properly. So in some ways it's great to level up and play the big stage, but in other ways, in terms of an art form, I think it's better to kind of be on the tent stage.
Yeah, and it's no coincidence that all three black metal bands that have been on this week, so Agrona yesterday, who made their debut on the Sophie, you guys, and then you tomorrow, are all in there.
Is that all the black metal on the bill?
Well, I can't see anything
Phil? Are they not black metal anymore?
Well, I don't know.
Are they I don't know. That's
Gothic Victoriana metal,
isn't it?
That's a whole other debate.
They used to be.
Yeah, the new song's a banger.
But obviously your last appearance was good enough for you to put the live album out.
Yeah.
And that went down well?
I think it did,
Surprisingly
it was kind of one of those things where it was sort of in between our album cycles, and it was just like, well, the recording's great, the footage is really good. We didn't have to do a great deal to it in the studio. A little bit of kind of added effects that maybe weren't there live and stuff like extra reverb and some of the stuff that doesn't record off the desk, that we had to add to it. But other than that, we tried to be kind of fairly honest with it, and it wasn't like a doctored record, and we didn't overdub it or anything. So I was really pleased that that's what we'd actually turned out as a band.
And it was a strange thing as a black metal band. You don't get many black metal bands doing a live album, so it's an interesting thing for us to do.
Sure. And what about the set list today? You obviously got, what have you got, 40, 45 minutes?
We've got 45 minutes today, and we're playing 5 tracks, and we're playing 3 songs from the new album, one kind of classic song, I guess, and then another sort of classic song that we've never played live before. So from a band perspective, we've essentially learned 4/5 of a kind of entirely new set to us.
To be honest, the set list we're going to play today, there's only one song in it. These guys have played before live, so that's what I mean about it being kind of a new stack in the unit, but it's going to be good.
After this, you've got a tour booked for next year or later?
No, we've got a festival next weekend in Cumbria called Northern Darkness Festival.
Yeah, and that's sold out.
It has, which is great, and that's a cool one. A small kind of nice sort of friendly kind of UK scene type thing, and then we're doing a tour with this band Mork from Norway, who are on Peaceful Records in October. We got 6 days with them, and then I think it's looking likely by this point that we'll probably be jumping onto the Damnation Festival lineup. We've been talking about them, with bands dropping off and stuff. And then next year we've got some big tours that are not announced yet, so we'll keep that under our hats for now because we're still working on logistics. But we've got 2 potentially really big tours and some big summer festivals next year. So hoping, if the world remains as it is, that we'll be able to do those things.
I guess we're just kind of tentatively trying to navigate around sort of coming out of all this, but it's still an exciting time.
Has it been hard to actually get the bookings because everyone wants to get back out on the road? Or
no, it's not too bad. I think certainly from our perspective, and I think we're kind of in the mid-ground really. We're not like a huge kind of festival headlining band, but we're not like a small new band anymore. So we work with an agent. They've got some clout. We tend to book kind of sort of 10, 12, 14 months out from where we are anyway. So we already had stuff in the diary that's just kind of been rescheduled a bit. So I feel like because we had those things, we've probably had a slightly easier time than some people have. But I know that we need to sort of find a balance as an industry between every single band in the world try to be on tour in October and
Oh yeah,
September.
of course, yeah.
You know,
Everyone's gonna wanna
versus
get out,
kind of
yeah.
like people's ability to go out and have the disposable income and the confidence to go back out to shows. So it's one of those things. You know, I'm hopeful that we do well and the shows are great, but at this stage it still feels like a bit of a punt. But you know, we hope the fans are with us. So you know.
Well, the great news is you're coming to Cardiff, so
And not the shit venue either, the good one.
not the shit venue.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're across the road, aren't you, in clubs? So that'll
Not
be
a shit
brilliant.
venue, but I almost died of I almost evaporated last time I played.
Yeah.
Well, we had an interesting show there, didn't we, with Necronauts called Winterfylleth on that tour.
Yeah, I remember that.
But still some. I've had some good memories in a few, of course.
Welsh club's great.
Yeah, the Welsh Club's brilliant. So I'll be seeing you there, and thank you very much for your time,
Oh,
guys.
you're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you keep up to date with future episodes by subscribing to our channels. For more information on this podcast, or for all the latest music news, reviews, interviews and more, head over to our website www.therazorsedge.rocks.